Good day, my beloved techies. Here again is your one and only Tech Premium in the building. So today on our Tech Leader Connect, I have with me one of the big shots in the tech industry and the person of Mr. Tolu Makinde. Mr. Tolu Makinde is an high impact transformation executive and a leader specialized in portfolio and program management with over 20 years experience. Mr. Tolu, I'm so delighted and excited to have you on call today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir. Quickly, as we roll on, can you please tell us about your background and how you became interested in technology?
So, if I go back, I was born in Ibadan by the grace of God. I grew up in Ibadan, went to GCI.
Okay.
But before SSS3, I left Nigeria. I went to the UK. In the school at the UK, that was my first interaction with a computer.
Yes, sir.
And it was to play games. It was just to play games, and they were teaching us some math. And I loved it so much. And right there and there, I knew that was what I wanted to do.
Wow.
So I decided to pursue computer science from just interacting with, if you see the monitors back then,
I can imagine.
they were like big tube TVs.
can imagine.
But that was way back in 1989, 1990 period.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. You mentioned that you are from, your hometown is Ibadan.
Yes.
So can you please tell us, how does your Nigeria heritage influence your approach to be a tech professional in America?
As Nigerians, we are always hungry.
Yeah.
Always hungry, always looking to better ourselves. So I wanted to be the best that I can be. So as a result of that hunger, had to be filled somehow. So I just pursued all the education that I could to just make sure that I have all the degrees and all the know-how with anything that has to do with a computer. So I got a bachelor's degree in computer science. I got a master's degree in computer science just to differentiate myself.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. As we all know, there's no success without story. Can you please just share with us some of these challenges you encounter as you climb the ladder of success, sir?
Some of the challenges, the school one is always there. In the US, you go to school, you have to work because you got to still pay the bills.
Definitely.
Nobody's sending you money from
Nobody's
Nigeria.
converting naira to dollars.
So that was always there. So I was schooling at night. I would go to work during the day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., rush from work to go to school. Got a class that starts at 5:30. We got a class that starts at 7:30. So you take two classes every night.
Wow.
One 5:30 to 7, another one 7:30 to 10.
Wow.
So I don't get home till 10:30,
Late in the
11
night.
o'clock at night, and then you do it again the next day.
Wow.
And then on the weekends, you are always studying. So you had to create that. But it was hard. It was, but you have to give it whatever it took to get to where you're going.
And the success so far has been a beautiful one.
Glory be to God.
Hallelujah. So, sir, I see a lot of Nigerians, a lot of our young ones. I think I was a victim of that. They just want to get many certificates as possible. You see them keep writing exams, both the one they need. Immediately the head of the certification, they're out there pursuing it. So, sir, please, how can a young Nigeria successfully break into the global tech world ahead of curve in the rapid evolving tech industry, despite all of the certification?
I don't believe you need to be a jack of all trades to enter IT. I think you just need to find your calling within IT. If it's, if you want to be a system admin, then know Windows, know Unix, know Linux, know all of those things to the T. Right? If you want to be, maybe an architect, then you know everything you need to do to become an architect. If you want to be a programmer, then at least a good programmer should know 3 to 5 languages.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, but it is what you become an expert in that you can build upon. But if you have 10 certifications and you are not an expert in any of them, I don't think it bodes well. So if you find your calling, stick to it, groom yourself in that calling, in whichever field of the IT that it is, and then from there, the sky is the limit.
Okay, so as a tech enthusiasm, how do I find my calling?
You will figure out, well, it can be two ways.
Okay, sir.
One is what you enjoy the most,
Okay.
and another thing is find mentors in the field and see where they push you.
Okay.
IT was not my thing in the beginning. I wanted to be a core engineer.
Computer engineer.
Computer engineering. I wanted to just go core. That means we are the one building the software
From
that is
scratch.
running
Yeah.
what you are seeing. For example, I was an embedded software engineer for a long time, writing code for printers, for scanners, for all those things. You don't really see. You don't interface with it like a normal computer, but something is running behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
But I had a mentor at the time who was my director, and he looked at me and he said, "You know what? You will make an excellent IT programmer."
You can identify. You have
Yes,
studied you
yes.
and is able to
And
pull out.
he said, "Go and take the PMP exam." I thought he was kidding. He paid for it, pushed me into it. I did it, and then I went into IT program management.
Wow.
And that's been probably over 15 years now. So just you can't follow everything. There's no way you can be successful in IT if you know anything about. I'm not an expert in everything, but the
Yeah, at
ones
least.
that I know it to the core.
I trust it.
That's it.
Thank you so much, sir. So studying tech in Nigeria is very expensive. Very expensive. I happen to take a course in ethical hacking, and I'm paying about almost ₦1 million.
Wow.
Now, how can those that can't even afford it, how do you think they can come into IT without paying so much through their nose?
There are several ways.
Okay, sir.
One is, I'll give you an example. Google has a lot of trainings that you can get for free.
Okay.
Without paying a dime. But it depends on which area of IT you are in. But you can always find resources online. YouTube is a great resource. YouTube was not there when I was doing all this. But somebody has gone through what you're going through.
Yeah.
Somebody is recording it and posting it online for free. Just search and search and search until you find what you're looking for.
Exactly.
In an affordable way. But I must say, at the same time, you get what you pay for. What is free may not always get you to where you're going.
Yeah.
Right? You may need to still pay for the advanced ones to help you.
Yeah.
But at least at the beginning stages, there are
free courses
several
out there.
courses online that are 100% free that you can take to enter IT.
Thank you so much, sir. I'd like to ask, sir, what are the affordable courses that you recommend for an aspiring Nigerian tech professional? What can I start with, at least to put my feet out there?
It depends on the level of technical expertise of the person.
Okay, sir.
If someone is completely brand new to tech, then you need to take maybe introduction to computer science or introduction to computers.
Okay.
Learn about computers.
How
What
does
are
a
the
computer
components
work?
of a computer? How does a computer work?
Yeah.
You have the CPU, you have the RAM, you have, everything else, every component that makes it work. How do they interact with each other?
Yeah.
Once you can get that under your belt and fully understand it, every knowledge you build on top of that will always come back to that foundation. So if you don't understand that foundation, it's going to be difficult for you to be successful in tech. Either you're a DBA or you're an architect
Whatever
or
you
you're a
have.
network engineer, whatever.
Know
Everything
how it
boils down
works.
to
Yeah.
the lowest level.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
get that foundation, understand it very well, and everything else you build on top of it, you just see that knowledge is with you forever.
So guys, you have to know the rudiments of computer before you go forward for that. So can you please advise, is it better to get a remote job and work here in Nigeria, or to japa, as my young ones always say, to be successful in tech?
So japa is not for everybody. if I share my own story, I don't think we have enough time. So Jackpot is not for everybody, but to work in the US as a tech, you need to be there first of all. That's the thing. But if you are here and you are able to enter the field successfully, then
Remotely?
stay where you are. Stay where you are. Just continue to push ahead. You will make it. There are some companies that won't hire you because you don't have an experience in the US.
Yeah.
And there are some companies that don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to know what do you have up here. And that's what they're willing to pay for. But to work remotely, to your question, they must have seen what you've done. You understand?
I get that.
Or they just want an aspect of your skill to say, I'm going to get somebody remotely. And it's not everybody that they do that with.
Yeah, I know that.
So it's better to be there if US is your target.
Okay.
It's better to be there, but moving to the US is not for everybody. I hear stories, people selling houses,
Yeah,
if you
to
have a
move.
house here,
Yeah.
stay here.
But they are able to earn more, especially when converting dollars to naira.
You're able to earn more, but how long is the journey for you to get to that level to be earning more? It's not overnight.
Yeah,
It takes time.
It takes time, yeah.
It takes time because you need to establish yourself there. You need to have the right networking. You need to have the right
Definitely,
connection.
yeah, to be
And
able to get in
they
there.
may start you at a low level, and then you show yourself, and then they'll
Put you up
you
there.
start going up there. So it's not, you don't land and then all of a sudden, boom, everything is there. No, it takes time.
It takes time.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Exactly.
They come in today, by next week, they want to be making
They want to cash
$200,000. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So it takes time.
It takes time.
Just know if Jackpot is in your destiny, then by the grace of God, God will make it happen. But if it is not, stay here and bloom here.
So how do I know if Jackpot is in my destiny or not? Because definitely I want to go back there. So how do I know? I know there are some people out there that were determined that no matter what, I can go there for VAC, go there for trainings and all that, go there for conferences and return back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
But some people are key going over there.
It depends on everybody's way, but all I know is it's not for everybody. I've seen people come there and they don't make it.
I know.
They don't make it. It's not struggle day and night.
I know.
And it pains you to see someone with so much skills still struggling.
Over there.
You understand? Still struggling. You don't know what it is. You don't, you try to help them, coach them and all that, and still they are struggling.
They are still there.
So it's not for everybody. And I've seen people come in within 2 years.
They're up there.
They're up there. So
thank you so much, sir. As we round up, can you please, are there books, podcasts, or resources you can recommend for our intending techies out there?
The thing with books in IT is the moment you finish reading the book has already become obsolete.
Wow.
Because tech is growing so
day by day,
fast.
It
is going so fast. If you want to read books, read the books that are core foundation.
Okay.
Right? Core foundation for programming, core foundation that teaches you about different what's the word I'm looking for? Programming ways. How do you build? Right. Those are those books don't change.
Yeah.
The core foundations doesn't change, but everything else on top of it is gonna change. Once upon a time, C used to be a very popular language. Now, how many people are using C? C++ the same way. C# the same way. Java the same way. Right?
Yes,
Visual Basic the same way. So all those things are evolving.
I get that.
If you grab a book on COBOL, nobody's going to hire you to do COBOL. So it's not Fortran, forget it. So find books that are core, study those, and then for the things that are non-core, look for the latest.
Look for the latest.
And looking for the latest is searching online, doing training that are up to date, and using that to educate yourself.
Thank you so much, sir. So in conclusion, I'd like our audience to know, how can our audience connect with you? You talk about mentor, that when you have a mentor to hold you by the right hand and pull you, climbing the ladder of success seems faster. So how can our audience connect with you or learn about your company or what they are currently doing in the tech space?
Well, I'm on social media. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. You can connect with me there.
All right.
Just make sure you introduce yourself properly so I know exactly why you
Yeah, why
want
you
to
are
contact me.
there?
Because some people will just
Yeah, I know.
message you without really saying
Yeah,
you
anything.
just you don't have a choice but to just ignore. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. I
So you
don't know
can
why
just
you
come to
want
me
to.
and bump into me.
Exactly. Make sure you provide the background, the reason why you
Why you are
want to
here.
connect, so that I would know exactly, okay, this person needs something from me. Is not just somebody that's looking for a handout.
So it's a great pleasure to have you on Seat today, Mr. Tolu Makinde. Thank you so much for your time. As Mr. Tolu have said, know the rudiment of computer before you even think of breaking into tech. Japa is not for everybody. And get a good mentor that can hold you by your right hand. See you again next week. Thank you so much, sir. We are glad to have you in our midst.
Thank you.